Well, the car's officially back from being dyno tuned. It's a bit of a haul down there, but it's well worth it. The car was tuned by TJ Wong in Vancouver, Washington. He's pretty well known in the West Coast. He's tuned a lot of very, very expensive LS cars. Stuff that I could only dream about owning, I would say, most of the time. But anyways, turned out really good. Made pretty decent power. At first I was a little bit disappointed, but then, thinking about it a little bit, the numbers really aren't that bad. And my goal of keeping as much torque as possible by not running a huge cam, I think paid dividends. And also run an 1 3/4 headers. I'd say really the choke points that could keep the car from making quite a bit more power would be the fact that it still has a LS6 intake manifold on it, stock tiny 78mm throttle body, and I believe the early C5, which this is, has a tiny mass airflow sensor of like 78mm, plus it still has the screen in it. So, all being said, it idles now, drives really well, makes awesome power, it's pretty damn loud, and we came away with just under 420 horsepower to the wheels and 390 foot-pounds of torque. I don't know how well this will show on the camera, if at all. It may show okay. 416 was the power. That's peak. Pretty nice curves everywhere. I'm very happy with everything. It's still running the original 1997 style PCM too, which I guess is kind of an oddball compared to the computers after 2001 or 2000, whatever it was, when they went to what they call I think they call them the 411 series computers. But I'm just happy that it's nice and drivable. Idle's still pretty choppy. I would have to say the idle chops substantially more than I would have thought a Stage 2 cam from BTR would have in comparison to some of the videos I've seen of his Stage 2 and Stage 3 and Stage 4 NA cams. They're really nasty. I don't think the wife's going to like that very much, but she'll get over it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can BS about at the moment. We did 3 full pulls, I believe it was. I only videoed one of the full pulls. On one of those 3 full pulls that we did, we had a miss at like 6,000 RPMs that lasted all of a couple of seconds. And we're pretty sure that the spark plug wires were original, and they've been yanked off the car at least 3 times, if not more. So it was highly advised to get rid of those. So I kind of poked around a little bit. I generally like to run factory plug wires, but in this particular case I went ahead and gave some of the plug wires, I don't know if you can kind of see them down in there. They're just plug wires, nothing fancy. They're the Henson Motorsport standard LS1 plug wires. They're like 60 bucks, and they're USA stuff. They seem to be built pretty well. So, I don't know. We'll see if it ever misses again. It hadn't missed on me before that, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. And it hasn't done it since, so we're going to keep on trucking. So in the video, I got a couple of different clips. I think I have a clip of the idle tune after being corrected. That took about 10 minutes. And then you can see where TJ's kind of driving the car. He uses a Mustang dyno, which I guess, they seem to be pretty popular for the guys that like to tune cars on a dyno versus road tuning them. And he's always done a really good job. But anyways, you'll see another part of the clip where he's just kind of driving the car around on the dyno and then making adjustments. Then we went after some full pulls. And I'm, like I said, pretty happy now. There's future plans. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but there's going to be some more. It'll be just for personal satisfaction, goofing around on the street. I'm not out there to set records. There's always somebody with more power. Oh, and I was also going to say, so I paid about $500 for the Dynotune. That's probably maybe 3.5 hours worth of work that he did. And he ended up giving me a perfectly good, excellent condition Bassani X pipe. I don't know, you probably can't see it very good in here. Light kind of sucks. But yeah, that's like $200 right there, and it was just sitting in a scrap pile. And he was kind of poking at me. He didn't really like the way the car sounded, and I don't really like the way it sounds with the cam either. It's got kind of a fluttery, farty sound to the exhaust now, when it's especially at idle. So we're going to go ahead and make the switch from the H pipe to the X pipe and see if that goes away. But maybe I'll do a video on that later. So anyways, hopefully you enjoy some ear-piercing noise, and it was, man. When we were standing behind the car during the full pulse, it pounded your chest, and there was no way you could not, you either had to plug your ears or put earplugs in. Pretty crazy, especially for this. It really isn't all that much power, honestly. There's lots more powerful cars out there. But like I said, enjoy the video as it comes up, and there will be a few more in the future. So this is a before the X pipe sound clip of the idle with the BTR Stage 2 cam. This is still with the H pipe in there. So we'll get the X pipe swapped into it sometime in the next week, and we'll see how much different it sounds. We're hoping to try and get rid of that kind of fluttery noise that it makes in this particular exhaust. Don't really care for that noise, so we'll see what we can do with it. That was a rip and a half.